With AI specifically today, I mean, it'd probably be good to get some examples of the benefits people can get from embracing technology, the benefits you're seeing.
There was a factory. They had machines, old machines, like machines from 1960s and 1970s. If a machine is down, or if the machine is producing a product, right, they were doing some textile work. If the textile work is not happening the right way, guess what? It takes time before anybody figures out. And by adding AI, just some cameras which are monitoring, and cameras are just raising an alert if a machine is going down or about to go down, or machine is behaving erratically, and figuring it out, and then raising alerts, and then the person could talk to the software as a bot. Hey, how do I fix this problem? And bot assisting. Just imagine, now you can see the real value happening right there.
Welcome to The Change Lead, the podcast providing leaders with the insight needed to get things done in a rapidly changing and complex world. Subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. Connect with our community of like-minded leaders on our website, thechangelead.com. Welcome to The Change Lead with your host, Babatope Ipiyemi.
In 1943, Thomas Watson, then the president of IBM, famously, or should I say infamously, predicted that there was a world market for only 5 computers. Well, we all know how wrong that was. We are faced yet again with another wave of technology, artificial intelligence. So, here's a question. How can we avoid the mistake of IBM? How can we avoid the heartache of ignoring the untapped potential of AI? To discuss this with me today is Ajay Malik. Ajay is the CEO of Secomind. He's a recognized thought leader in the field of AI, and with over 90 patents to his name and 2 influential books, he is a real thought leader. In this episode, AJ and I have a conversation on how to avoid the heartache of ignoring AI's untapped potential. So stay tuned. I'm sure you will enjoy it. So I think something I like to use, it's quite an analytical book, something I like to use to just see where things are. There's always a trend with technology. Um, so we're recording this today in January 2024, and it would be good to get your take on where AI is on what I'll call the Gartner hype cycle. So for those watching on YouTube, I'll just probably put up a visual because it's best to see it visually. If you're
Yeah.
just listening, you can get a link in the description. But I'll talk through it very quickly what the Gartner hype cycle is, and we get good to get your take on that. So there are 5 phases in the cycle. So the first phase is basically a technology trigger. Something comes into the market, a technology trigger. The things you mentioned, AI, even electricity is another good example for that. Then there's what we call the peak of um, inflated expectations, where everybody's expecting this technology to do simply everything. There's the trough of disillusions, where that peak has not been actually that peak of expectation has not been achieved. Then what we call the slope of enlightenment, where you gradually get those increments, and then the plateau productivity to the point you mentioned earlier, where 2 degrees of separation, everything is touching AI, where everything you get maximum productivity. It would be good to get your take on where we are, and I think that might probably provide insights of the best ways to leverage AI today.
Very nice. All right. How about I just add 2 minutes of preface to that, and
Sure,
before we
sure.
go to that, okay? You know what? Let me just say this: AI is very old. As a human beings, we have been trying AI forever. Okay, and if you go into the Greek mythology, there were these three-leg tables which would move based on what the workman wanted. Hey, I want this product moved to me. Okay, or then in 10th century there is a famous example from a king in China. So they created this instrument which would sing songs, and they created that, and they presented it. It was so good, and it was such a natural voice, and everything actually came down to the floor, and opened and ripped apart to see if there was a person hiding inside it. Okay, so it was so
Okay.
good. So what I'm trying to say is that, and then there was like Leonardo da Vinci, right? He created many things in 15th century. There's soldier, and there were a lion, a mechanical knight, lot of things he created. Okay, so the quest for AI is not new, I can tell you.
Mm.
Humans have been wanting to, what, it is almost like this. I'm wearing glasses. You are wearing glasses. The glasses augment because there is something I cannot do better without the glasses, and the glasses make me do that same thing, right?
Mhm.
As a or what, we wear shoes so that we can walk on a terrain which is like rocky and not good for easy to walk. So humans have always tried to augment themselves, always, continuously, right? Like to either take care of some deficiency or to add some a new ability, right? And we have been doing this, right? And whole world has been in this loop, as this is one of the key principles, and AI is part of that journey, the augmenting us, right? And we have been doing it, right? And it in 1950s they came up with the term artificial intelligence. Okay, and they did this, and then it was very hot those days. Then 1970s, then it went down. 1980s it became hot again, then it went down, and then 205 10 it became hot again, and now it is, and it was like kind of stabilizing, and now it is super hot. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, in the Gartner world, in the Gartner hype cycle, AI doesn't fit because AI has been going, it has seen the largest number of cycles. Okay, Gartner will try to create a cycle of the AI, right? And you
Okay.
can say that which phase in the Gartner hype cycle you fit in. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
the world is very, very different place just because of that. So but I tell you one thing, where I see where the AI is right now, and I don't think it is, it's very complex, okay, honestly, because the way the Gartner cycle is, right, like as you described it, right, it is about technology trigger happens, then you have a peak of inflated expectations, draw of delusion. AI has gone through those. I think AI is going through a cycle of productivity now. However,
Okay.
unlike, so it is, however, unlike the way Gartner has the whole concept of plateau of productivity, no, it's it's a uprising productivity. So the graph, the Gartner has to redefine that slope. They have to come up with a slope of productivity. They don't have it. Gartner doesn't have that concept. Gartner has slope of enlightenment. Maybe you can fit it there because it is a slope. You can fit it in slope of enlightenment. But I think we people are being productive. I see companies actually using it, and really, my own company, right? We are like 25 times more productive because we use AI. I'm doing so much more, infinitely more, and satisfyingly more than without AI. So you can say that we are in some kind of slope of enlightenment, or you can, I would rather say it's something new. It's a slope of productivity, and we will see that graph for next 3 to 5 years because productivity will increase infinitely. Like there was an IMF report yesterday or 2 days back. They mentioned it will affect jobs. It will affect jobs, AI, because the productivity is increasing. But the thing is, AI is creating another set of new jobs, and AI is going to create so much opportunity because, like, software had touched everything, AI will touch everything. We said 2 degrees of separation, which means so much AI needs to be added. Every number of people who can add AI is not enough. But we will be in this slope of productivity. Am I making sense?
You make it a lot of sense, and I think I like the way you've approached it completely. Because if you, to your point, the Gartner hype cycle is very linear, and what we're saying with AI is not linear at all. It's a lot more dynamic, a lot more complex. I think that's the word you use there as well. So I think that makes a lot of sense. That you cannot really fit into that model, and I like the history lesson you give as well. That this has been going on for a very very long time. We should expect a lot more, and we should be focused on productivity. not just the hype, not just maybe the productivity is going to come in the future. The productivity is here now, and your company is one of those companies that are already benefiting from that productivity, which is quite interesting. Um, so with every new technology, there are multiple responses to technology. So one response is people just embrace the technology, they want to go for it. I think like yourself, and for some people they choose to resist. So those are the two general trends we see with people how they respond to technology. With AI specifically today, I mean, it would probably be good to get some examples of the benefits people can get from embracing technology, the benefits you're seeing, that
with the AI.
productivity that,
I will
yes.
I will give you so many examples. Okay. I know. And it is like I enjoy this. You know what? Like, because this is why it's not about disillusionment or illusionment, and it's like practical value. Okay. And so, like, I give you example. One company, they used to do like, they get like about 8,000 support calls, okay, per year, like support calls or emails, and which they have to provide the support to the product, to the customer, provide the right answers and stuff. They had outsourced it to a company, and they were paying a fixed $40 per support ticket to resolve it. So they were spending over 300K per year to take care of their support. Okay. And their support team was doing good job, but even then the average time was about 4 days, because the email comes, somebody has to respond, investigate, do the work. We put AI there, AI for automation. We auto AI will resolve 60% of the tickets instantly or work with directly, and it will remove the whole need of the human to support it, or somebody to look into it, or the error or anything. Okay. Just imagine 60%. That's like good amount of money saved right there, because now you don't have to do that. Plus, the response time became drastically low, because now 60% of your customers are like in the satisfied range, because they open a ticket and send an email or come on the web chat or phone call, and the AI is responding and done. Right. And that's the advantage. Or I give you another example. There was a factory. They had machines, old machines, like machines from 1960s and 1970s, not IoT machines or fancy machines where everything is connected and you can see status online. Right. And they have like thousands of machines over multiple floors, factory uh, places. But then they had factory workers looking at them. If a machine is down, or if the machine is producing a product, right, they were doing some textile work. If the textile work is not happening the right way, guess what? It takes time before anybody figures out, and then the factory worker who is on the floor, he may or she may not even know what to do immediately. By the time they realize, then it takes time. And by adding AI, just some cameras which are monitoring, and cameras are just raising an alert if a machine is going down or about to go down, or machine is behaving erratically, and figuring it out, and then raising alerts, and then the person could talk to the software as a bot. Hey, how do I fix this problem? And bot assisting. Just imagine, now you can see the real value happening right there. Right. They were like, wow, seriously, like things like this. Or you have a new engineer or new person in the team. That person doesn't know so many things. The person doesn't even want to ask, because the person doesn't want to look foolish or whatever. Right. There is a fear of asking questions. But just imagine, a new person joins and they can ask a question to a bot, and hey, how do I do this? How do I do this? Is this the right way to do the code? Have I done it right? There is an assistant, there is an advisor. That's what the AI is. AI is an assistant or advisor ready to provide value in your privacy, right? And it can help you solve problems, it troubleshoot problems, guide you, advise you, and removes all the time and dollar and spent there. So you get efficiency or productivity right there, right? Or I give you more examples. Self-service troubleshooting, so many use cases we are doing with a lot of customers, right? Like quality inspection of manufacturing, so that you create the right product. So many use cases getting deployed, and companies are happy because they are deploying it. It really is helping them significantly. right? Or the use cases like, oh, I give you another example. There was this contractor. He was receiving like about hundreds of documents, hundred of contracts he wants to review, because he wants to figure out which to sign or not, right? Which to take, which to like pursue, right? Because he wants to take the projects. Now you have hundreds of requests for they are called like RFPs and RFQs. Lot of documents come, like 200 page documents, like they want to look at that. But when they want, or you are a program manager, so you know, right? Like you have a document and you have to look at and respond to them, right? Now, but hundreds of contracts coming every week. If you have to put, imagine now putting lawyers to read all of them, right? Every lawyer reading at least, say, giving it like 4 hours to each document. It will require a lot more, right? But that is 400 hours just because of 100. And 400 hours of document, let's put a price on $400 per this. You have this much money to be spent to even figure out what you want to do or not. All those 100 may be waste, right? And now by we implemented AI for them. AI reviews all the contracts, creates a prelim review report. The penalties, the profits, this, that, all the conditions, timelines, everything, creates a good chart out of it automatically, reading it. And this way they can see, okay, these five seem reasonable. Maybe we should have lawyers review this, and others, let's just ignore. Not even lawyers need to look at it. You save so much time, you can review all of the 100, and you can work on the right business. That's the advantage of AI. So AI does give value whenever you are manipulating documents, when you are looking at data, whenever you have people training or customer support. I think use cases are there.
Yeah, I think those are some very good use cases you've listed. There was something because I run a number of programs, and the examples you gave, I'll use one of them is the if you reduce tickets by 60%, what you're doing is not just productivity, but you're actually making products that will be unviable suddenly viable. There are
Yeah.
businesses that cannot get off the ground. All of a sudden, you have new products come to market because you'd have done the analysis up front. You say, if I do this, hold on, I can't do this, I'll make a loss. You inject AI into that situation, all of a sudden, a new product comes to market. I think
Yes.
that is even another benefit in there from that description you've given there.
Huge. I'm telling you, huge, right? AI creates productivity. AI reduces inability. Like, I cannot do this because you know what? There are things we cannot do, right? And it's just AI just enables. You know what? I have so many minutes in the day, right? How much work can I do, right? And suddenly your two hands become 200 hands. And you know what? There is a helper. It's like, this is, if you believe in Santa Claus, that's your Santa's helper. Okay. Okay. If you want to call it an assistant, call it an assistant, right? Right. My daughter says, oh, chat gpt is my bestie. Right? And things like this, right? So that's what it is. It is a tool, and it's not just ChatGPT. We are working on many other, because ChatGPT does only one part of the problem. AI is larger and bigger than that, right? But ChatGPT has created a awareness, right? And but then there are AI. We build AI for recognizing patterns, and you have to work in an enterprise environment, business environment, privacy, and more security, and data running only in your premise, not going outside of your business. You need all those things. But even then, or whatever way you do, that AI is helping you. It is
Yeah,
really helping you with productivity, your efficiency, your knowledge sharing, your customer experience, your downtimes. You will have less downtimes. You will be like, like, for a lead generation for the business, and no need to do like, dear, and then, curly brackets, some name, replacing the name, and the body remains same. No more. You can actually have the body also customized, personalized for that business. And it you learn, right? Like, I spent 5 minutes in AI. I can spend learning about a company and take time, or I can use AI and within 5 minutes I can learn a lot more about that company in 5 minutes, so that I can become probably. And then what happens is, then you can create a good conversation with the customer, and then pretty soon you will find a common point where there might be business opportunity, right? It helps everybody in every way.
interesting. If we if we go back because I did say that there are different people respond to technology in different ways. So there will be those who will resist and any new technology. And I want to be balanced here. There can be logical reasons, there can be valid reasons to resist the technology. Well, it'll be good to get your advice for those who are still either on the fence or on the other side of the fence, saying
Oh yeah, yeah,
this
there
is
are.
not something they want to explore. What advice would you give?
So I tell you, oh my God, it is, the so ignorance is always there, right? Some people
Mm,
genuinely don't know. The number of people who know that AI can do so much is very small step, very small. So it takes time. Okay, there are people who will tell you, and I'm not going to say right or wrong, who will say vaccine good or vaccine not good. Both sides, right? And there is a whole theory around both sides, and there is a belief around it, right? Or, right, like there are people who say, oh, do not use the food that you microwave, don't eat it, or don't eat the food that has been in refrigerator, only fresh. So all theories exist, okay? And people have reasons, okay? So AI is no different. So it will be like this. People will Some people will not believe in it, some people are not even aware of it, some people will disagree with it, right? And some people will adopt it, and some people will run with it. Okay, so the people who are on the other side, I want to say this, right? They are there, and their reasonings you and I will not be able to explain to them, because for some people, like, my elder brother said this thing long time back, and I always remember it. It's one of my key things in life. Some people learn by seeing other people fall, some people learn by falling themselves, and some people never learn. Okay, so you will not be there, you will be one of those three categories, or some people will be in those categories. Okay, and you cannot force them. So let them. People will learn on their own, like the value they get out of something, right? And some people will learn by learning themselves, that, yeah, oh wow, this could have helped me. And some people will not learn and not believe, even if you try to prove it otherwise. Okay, but there are proof points, there are evidence, there are use cases. It's like this: we have cruise control in the car, right? It was an intelligent system added to cars in 1970s, and it works, and you use it, and it really works, right? And it was an intelligence added, and it's no more even feels like an something which is intelligent, right? It is part of the cars. You have things that have become part of our life. We don't even realize they are doing AI. Okay, like when Zoom was doing blurring of the backgrounds in the images of the video calls, right? People just started using it as a cool feature. Nobody even gave a second that this is AI or blah blah or something, right? That's how it is. So technology, when it becomes in a form which is more acceptable, some people will accept only when it becomes so natural. And I think that's the right way, like the right use case of a technology, like the Wi-Fi. It is like it's part of life, and it is, everybody uses it, right? It's a complex word, Wi-Fi. I don't think many people will be able to explain it, how it works or what it is, but they can't live without it, and they use it all the time. AI will be like that. So though it is okay to be on the other side where you are not, but I think what we can do, the people who are aware of AI, we have a responsibility. I think so, I believe in that. I personally believe like everybody should have a cell phone, and everybody should have internet access. Okay. So, because that's how people can do better, right? And I think similarly, AI belongs to everybody, and we have to educate the world at rapid space, because the people who do not use AI will be left behind. They will be left behind in this, whatever this race is. Okay.
yeah.
And once they are left behind, the businesses will definitely be left behind, people will be left behind, because you know what, people are so busy in, and sometimes they don't have time. They are so busy in their day job, they don't even have time. Like your podcast, how many people will listen to it, right? Because, but if they could, suppose they had the time to listen, and they will have the time to listen only if they had something assisting in their life. And that assistant, I don't think that assistant or the AI assistant belongs only to the rich or able. I think it belongs to everybody. Everybody should have a AI assistant who helps them with every question, every decision, doing their tasks, doing their boring tasks, doing their repetitive tasks, simplifying this, automating it for them. If it AI assistant is for everybody, I think then I think, and we should educate them, we should bring it to them, and I think it's okay. They will also learn and start use. They will use it inadvertently.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's a good idea, and it's a very noble mission to have, that everybody has an assistant
Yeah.
to make them a lot more productive. That is really good. Um, I want to sort of change gears a slightly little bit and look at companies that are dominating this space. So, on what trends you see. So, if I go back to computing, when you had IBM, and then Microsoft came in and totally disrupted IBM. It would be good to get your take on, what do you see happening in the AI space? Is it going to be lots of new entrants? Do we expect people who are companies are already quite large to effectively dominate in terms of platforms? I know you have a framework as well. It'd be good to get what you're seeing in this industry, because you're so deep into it. It's sometimes hard to see what the trends, unless you got good insights. Um,
Yeah,
what's
you are
what are you
right.
saying?
Yeah, very good, very good line of question. I must say. Okay, so all we already see one big disruption, right? Like I used to say this, okay, and we have five senses, right? We can touch, see, smell, hear. What else? Touch, see, smell, hear, taste. We have five senses, right? God or whoever, the universe creator or whatever, that did not give any other sense. These are the five senses, and humans have to live with it. And then I always saw Google search as the sixth sense. It's a ability. Because of having that Google search, I have all the world's information at my fingertips. I can find whether it's pizza or best doctor or a disease or information or this, that, everything is available to me. Google search is a very powerful. And if you don't use the sixth sense, I think if you try to live without using Google search, it's a different life. Right? But then OpenAI made ChatGPT public, and it is the seventh sense. I really believe it's the seventh sense because Google gave the information, ChatGPT gave meaning to the information. And now I can ask questions and it can give me assistance based on it. I'm not saying ChatGPT is correct, 100% correct, or whatever. However, it gave meaning to the information and I could ask, right? And that is the thing. And it was a major shift. My homepage on my browser in my computer was always Google search page, right? And about 1 year, 2 months back or something, it changed. It's chat.openai.com. I don't even go to Google search. It changed. I'm not searching. I don't have time for search. I don't even want to search. I don't want to get random answers or some sponsors answers or things like that. I want answer to my question, and ChatGPT is my beautiful assistant. It gives me the answer, right? And I ask it two, three times different ways to figure it out if it is the right answer. Because ChatGPT is like this. How I say it like this. It's like a 7-year-old child with the world information at his disposal or her disposal. And now what happens is you have ChatGPT who has information. So, but it's 7-year-old child. Ask the question right. If you ask it right, you will get the right answer. Because if you ask the question incomplete, you will get answer based on the what the child understood. So ask the question, the, the better framing of your question, better answer you will get. So ChatGPT already has disrupted the world. It has disrupted a lot of things. I think now the 7-year-old child is going to grow. That is the next disruption that I expect to happen in the industry. It's ChatGPT is only one part, and ChatGPT is only business to consumer part, right? It's like application for the consumer. I think what is going to happen is more application for businesses in AI, right? The ChatGPT for your own business, right? on your own data. And the second thing is how it becomes from 7 year to 10-year old child, 12-year, 18-year, 25-year-old child. How, brain, even our brain develops until 25, 26. They say we are in a child brain is developing, and then it probably stops. So I think we have like another good 18 more years for development for chat gpt AI. It will grow, and it will something, it may not be chat gpt, but what you will get is more enterprise. On one side you will see more enterprise platforms, more business focused platforms, applications enabling people in for their business for collaborating better, private, secure, on their premises or their business. And the second thing which we will see is it developing for more complex abilities, which are as a child when you develop and you have more abilities. Like, a gymnast, what a gymnast does at 5 year and what they do at 12 is different. Same thing ballet, or same thing, so they grow. That is going to happen, and we will see so much more capabilities. It will actually, you and I don't even know how, in how many ways it will amaze us. And it will do our work, and it is
Yeah.
happening. And I also see in next 5 years robotics going to the next level. That is the biggest thing that will happen with the AI. So, like right now we are seeing it at a software level AI, and we will see more and more hardware level AI. Like, I don't know if you are young, so even a Roomba, right? Like this thing came, like the vacuum cleaner which goes on the carpets and goes, it's a small disc like thing and goes
Yeah.
and the cleans the house, right? That was an AI, that was a something, right? Robotics. We will see much more smarter robotics coming in next 5 years, which will actually make a huge difference to everybody. So I think the software AI will evolve. So one is enterprise, one is the software AI evolving and adding more hardware robotics. A lot of things happen. So, like, think of it as everything happening just because those things are now capable. You have to read one paper from, I think, in 1990 or something. This is a paper, Computer of the First 21st Century. Okay.
Okay.
This is a very good paper. And you know what? The beauty of this paper is it was written by uh, Mark Weiser in like 1991, I think, or I don't forgot what year it was. Honestly, it was in that time frame. Okay, 1990s. And this is, you have to read this paper to see. The guy talks about it, um, how he I think he's called father of computation. He's a big shot. He was a big shot. Okay. But the key thing is, he described how computers and without calling it AI, without calling it robotics, he explained like how the computer of the future will work. And like, think like this, you know imagine you are waking up from the bed. You want to wake up, and the alarm clock already knows, oh, I see your body, that you are, the pattern, right? Like how you are tossing and turning in the bed, so it can figure out, it's a camera vision happening, which is figuring it out that you are in this cycle or phase of the sleep, and you might be waking up, and your alarm clock whispers, would you like me to make a coffee for you? And it says, the person says yes, and the machine says, okay, the usual, the person says yes, and the machine works with the other robotic machine and tells it to instruct to make the coffee and start the coffee brewing and everything. All the technology working interconnected and helping us. We will see more. Now we will see in real, because we did not have this. Google Home, Siri, Alexa, very good, but very basic. Siri is still like, right, it can't do, it doesn't understand me, it cannot understand me, it doesn't do a lot of things. But now the AI, with the new model, it can. The biggest invention that happened is that now we always had created human computer interface, right? Like a mouse, click, go here, go there, press the keyboard, click here, click that, type this, type that. No more. Humans think in only two forms: text or images.
Yeah.
We have only two ways to communicate. And if I can talk to my computer by text, I can't show the image which I have in my mind. So the only way is text. But if I can say the text and it can understand, It can, you are somewhere else. And now just imagine you have a communication going on, then you have robotics, technology is there, computer science is there, hardware is there now. I think we will see so much happening in that space.
That is a very inspiring vision of the future you've painted. So looking forward to it. Um, I think from listening and those listening watching, there's a bit of inspiration there that you've provided. If somebody is not really into AI today, they're aware of it, but they're not using it to improve productivity. What first steps would you advise to get started? I don't know if it's a basic question, but how would you
Oh,
just
oh,
get
it's a,
started?
yeah, how to get started? It's the number one question. You know what? And this how to get started has so many parameters. It is very different when you are young. It's very different when you are older. And the problem becomes, it gets compounded based on the parameters you are bound in, right? So I think the first thing to do is sit on the internet, sit on the chat GPT, right? Go there, or you know what, look for people who are open to talk about. I am open, they can schedule a meeting with me, and there are many like me. I'm not alone, I'm not special. So there are many, so they can schedule time with some people, understand how can I use it for my own career, how can I use it for my life, how can I use it for my business. Have that question in your own privacy, one on one. Do that, make time for that, because that question is important. Because once you start figuring it out, it will change your game. It will be a game changer for sure. And ask that question to somebody else, how can I use it? Does it even make sense? Like, sometimes people say, oh no, AI is not for me. They might have this. But you know what, ask somebody, this is what I do. Is there any way I can use AI, and will it help me, right? Give me some ideas. And you know what, just ask this question to chat GPT. Go there and say, hey, I am 46-year-old, I do this is what I do, this is how my day looks like, this is my job. Tell me what are the key things that I can do using AI, and they will help me immediately, like in 3 weeks. Okay, give it a timeline. Very important. And do not rush after changing the world and very complex problems. You know what, don't look for that, I want to solve world hunger or want to eradicate malaria. Those things, yes, good goals, AI will help them. But first, start small. When I worked in Google, one thing I really learned, and I really like it. That phrase goes like this: think big, start small, scale fast. Think really big, but start small, then you can scale and do that fast. That is the approach. So find out what is the small thing you want to do that will help you see the value, help you give the proof that yes, this is good, this is useful. Okay, let me do this. If I can do this, I can do more, and then I will do more, and you keep doing more and more and more. Start. So find somebody who you can talk to, or find even the AI to talk to, get some ideas, and then find somebody who, or use the chat GPT itself again to help you do something with AI. Or just go to find small companies, because you may not, because chat GPT, there is a fear, and which is a very valid fear, that all data is going in public domain, and I don't want to, it's like another kind of Facebook. All data may be out there about us, it's risky. I don't want to share everything, right? So find, confine, talk to smaller companies, AI consulting companies, consultants, talk to them, how can I do that? Most companies will give a discovery call free, right? Have a discovery call with 3 companies, and talk to them, hey, what can I do with AI? You have to have 5 companies. And then once you have got some ideas, then you make the decision based on who you want to work it. It's your choice. But I think you have to make time to ask somebody, what can I do with AI, and what can I do something that will have value in a short term. And that's where you start, because this way you will feel confident that the decision you are making is, it's like this, when I want to lose weight, I want to see results. If when somebody, my trainer says, yeah, you do this and you will see results in 1 year, I have already lost interest. I was hoping to see something in 3 4 weeks. I know nobody does that, but but something like this, with AI, I want something. That's the whole idea.
It's human nature. You want to see results quickly, and if you, there's no point working against your nature. You want something that I think very good advice that you've provided there. You really think big, start small, and scale fast. I think that's really brilliant.
Yeah,
Very good
that's
lesson.
most of my messages are coming from the companies or bosses I have worked with.
But that's a good thing. You've learned from them. You've taken it. You've synthesized it. You've taken it on board, and you've made it your own. So that's learning. That's the way
Yes,
we learn.
that's
Isn't it?
yeah.
It's a nice one. Just in closing, any final words you want to share with our audience in terms of what you do, how people can reach out and work with you?
I would say, do not be afraid to jump into AI. Rather be afraid to not jump into AI. Okay, because world will use it, world will move it. There will be people who will not be using AI even 50 years from now. Okay, there will be. It's not that those, there are people who are doing not spreadsheets and managing some things in paper and books. Okay, and but if you want to really enjoy life, I'm not talking about make more money or you want to really be the top leader or something. Enjoy life, have more time for yourself, invest little bit of time in AI. It will make your life so much amazing. And you will be suddenly, you will have that AI assistant which I am talking about. You will have it and you will be able to do so much more you will actually enjoy because you will you will get more done with less of your effort.
I like that advice. If you want to really enjoy life,
Yes,
just
if you
invest a little
really
bit of
want to.
time.
Yes, it is. They must. Everybody should do it. It is. You will feel it. You will get, because answers are out there, out there. And there is now, like Google search helped, and AI helps more. And then go to even deeper level of AI. Start with basic AI from ChatGPT, then go to more advanced AI for your life, business, and in so many more ways. And life will be very good.
Nice one. Thank you so much. I think this has been a brilliant conversation. Really appreciate your time. I'll put links to how people can reach out to you in the description. So anybody watching or listening wants to connect with AJ, just check the description. Whether you're watching on YouTube or listening, AJ, thank you so much for your time. It's been a brilliant conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really enjoy.
Thanks for tuning in to my conversation with AJ. If you would like to connect with AJ, you can find details in the show notes. If this episode was of value to you, please consider leaving a review wherever you get your podcasts. Now, let's continue the conversation. To continue the conversation, please connect with me on LinkedIn. Links to my LinkedIn profile can also be found in the show notes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day and see you next time.